Hello and welcome to Network. My name is Pumelele Zondi with your technology and social media news. Remember that it's SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's News Network at sabc.co.za on email. This week, to the poll is asking you if you are ready for the switch off of analog TV, as that's expected to happen at the end of this month. That's the digital migration of TV that we've been talking about for a very long time. Results of that are coming up later in the program. Here's what's coming up in this episode. We have details on International Women's Month and some of the dangers and successes that women are facing when using digital platforms. There's information on an e-waste initiative that's in our startup corner. And in our conversation, as we have a new Minister of Digital Technologies, we speak to one player in the space about what he should be looking into when it comes to digital technologies. As it is International Women's Month, we decided to have a look at some initiatives that are training young girls and women in the tech sector, but there are dangers as well that women are still facing online. This year's theme for International Women's Day has been Digital, Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality. A survey entitled A Deep Dive into Challenges and Opportunities for Women's Tech Careers and Women-Led Enterprises across Asia, Europe and Africa found that 32% of women in the tech sector say they have not received a promotion for over 24 months. 68% of those surveyed say that there's a tech skills shortage that's blocking many women from entering the tech sector. But women like Itumeleng Mokoena are breaking those barriers. Mokoena is a drone pilot, certified instructor, and co-founder of Passady Air.
It was very difficult because I'd never flown a drone before in my life, and the conditions were also challenging. I mean, where we are training, it's in remote areas, so transport in such areas is also a bit limited. And also learning how to fly, becoming familiar with the industry. You know, when you are going through the course, it's a lot of information to take at one time.
Such work would inspire many young girls. We found some schoolgirls who want to get in the tech space when older at the RoboGirl initiative. RoboGirl gives some tech skills to them at a very young age.
In fact, such initiatives, they are very, very important in promoting the girl child in the tech space, because these, I would say, these opportunities, there is a perception that they are for boys. Now, putting the girl child in the tech environment, it's a very exciting and a good initiative as well.
The learners at RoboGirl also appreciate such initiatives.
Today we are at a coding and robotics training program at DUT, and I find it very interesting because I feel like these skills will help me down the line when I am choosing my career path, as I've always been interested in technology and developing softwares, because I have a passion for technology, and I want to find solutions to our everyday problems, and I want to develop new technology.
Seeing this as a need as well, the United Nations Commission for the Status of Women was themed Innovation and Technological Change and Education in the Digital Age for achieving gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls. But women who are already online have to take extra safety precautions than men.
A recent study by the World Health Organization has indicated that 1 out of 3 women will experience a form of violence during a lifetime. And despite this new and growing phenomenon that is the internet activity, it is estimated that 1 out of 10 women have already experienced a form of cyber violence since the age of 15. I mean, that is absolutely a staggering statistic.
The safety measures that are suggested in this.
If you are a victim or if you are aware of, for example, illegal internet content like child sexual exploitation or child sex abuse material, or you see other forms of illegal activity, for example, commercial scams or identity theft, you now have to go to your police station and you can report it at any of your police stations.
The trick now is to move such studies and conversations from conferences and research papers into real, tangible spaces and solutions. Since the arrival of ChatGPT in December and many other tools like it after that, there's confusion about whether this is a good thing, especially for the education sector and other fields as well.
As artificial intelligence platforms like ChatGPT continue to keep tongues wagging around the world, the education sector finds itself having to find a balance in this technology that has taken the world by storm. In Singapore, there is an ongoing debate among educators over whether ChatGPT could better help students and academics, or it is actually aiding unethical practices among students.
If we want our universities to remain fit for purpose, to remain relevant, we need to equip our students with skills on how to use the AI well, and also how to work better with an AI and even stay ahead of the AI.
Here in South Africa, some educators seem to share the same sentiments about the AI. Private school teacher Adam Farrell says that the tool can yield positive benefits.
This is just more of a tool that allows students access to information and ways of thinking that they might never have had before, which is really, really exciting. If we look at it from the teacher's perspective, the positive benefits are that teachers can then spend a lot less time prepping for lessons and a lot less time marking, and more time sort of with the students, enabling them to overcome barriers to learning, give them the opportunity to think more creatively, and then it gives them the flexibility to obviously give more attention to their classes. Particularly in the public sector, the public teaching is very administratively heavy, and so that will really assist.
While all is good and well for well-resourced schools, the playing field is however not leveled in a digitally divided country like South Africa. We at Network took the liberty to ask students from different schools if they knew about this AI tool.
I do know about ChatGPT, and I don't use it for my essays. I use it more as a search engine because I find that it's better than Google in many ways, as it gives you the answer that you are looking for rather than beating around the bush like Google does to you.
I don't know what ChatGPT is, nor have I ever heard of it.
Yes, I've heard about ChatGPT, and no, I haven't had a chance to use it, but I'd like to use it when it comes to my schoolwork, and I feel like it can help me in my creative writing and in other subjects also.
Farrell says that he is quite optimistic that students will be the ones in the forefront of these technology advancements, regardless of their backgrounds.
And I think the students themselves will drive it not to be widened, in the sense of saying that students are, they're on social media. I learned about ChatGPT in November last year from social media. When it first popped up, this is incredible. I quickly got online, I accessed it, I played with it, I brought it to our school group, and I said, hey, this is something we've got to look at. I was very excited about it. I think students, whether in the private sector or public sector, I think they all have access to social media. I think there's definitely is that. I think they are well aware of it. And I think public sector students are going to land up being the catalysts to drive the change within the public sector, and the department will simply have to adapt.
ChatGPT has taken the education community by storm since its public release in November last year. According to experts, the key issue is that students must learn the capabilities and limitations of these technological tools and incorporate them in their learning journey.
When a lot of us upgrade our tech tools, we never really know what to do with the old one. And you find that some people even use the ordinary rubbish bin to discard of their electronic products. But there's an initiative run by women that is aiming to help with electronic waste.
My name is Kotatso Ndema, and I'm the founder and managing director of Passady EWaste. Initially, Passady EWaste was into ITAD, which is IT asset disposal, assisting companies to remove offering solutions to companies to remove or dispose the electronic waste. We have identified that the environment is not preserved when it comes to electronic waste. It's a problem that we have researched on. It's a problem that we've encountered. Hence, we took the lead, in inverted commas, we took the lead to solve the problem by actually recycling and creating and converting electronic waste that cannot be recovered into renewable materials, resources, and energy. So that is the solution that Passady EWaste is offering to our precious environment, and also job creation, because right now, looking at our economy, things are not so great. So we are trying to create jobs within the manufacturing industry, especially in the townships, because Passady EWaste is, the whole purpose of Passady EWaste was for us to also develop and employ children, females within the townships. And I think it goes back to the name, because Passady means female. So we are trying to give females opportunities, especially in the IT and the manufacturing industry. In repositioning and repurposing our business, we spotted and identified quite a number of opportunities within the value chain, which we now really focusing on, which is the conversion of e-waste raw materials and turning it or converting them into renewable energy or renewable resources, which entails manufacturing of roof tiles. Secondary focus as well is the extraction of minerals from electronic waste, like your motherboards. You find minerals such as your copper, your gold, your platinum. So that's exactly where that's what we want to do, and that's where we're going. Financial challenges as a small business, that's a big factor for us, because we need stuff like vehicles in order for us to collect electronic waste, facilities, because we're dealing with hazardous waste, chemicals. Eventually, we're going to need, facilities that will accommodate chemicals. The fact that we won first place at the Innovation Hub for the Green Economy has put us in a very good position, because since the award, there has been quite a number of communication from different stakeholders. So it has really put us in a good position. And for us as well as Passady EWaste, it's confirmation that what we are doing is actually, it's a problem solving. So it's a solution to the country, So that's basically what it has done for us, and we're hoping for better and more opportunities.
SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's News Network at sabc.co.za on email. After the break, we chat to one player in the tech sector about the hopes for the new Digital Technologies Minister. It's SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. Communications and Digital Technologies has a new minister, and that is Mondli Gungubele, who's shifting from the presidency. A lot of people in tech sectors have a lot that they would like the new minister to do. We've come to Gasigos Digital. Now, they're based in Clement. It's a township just outside New Germany, and they too are hoping that he's going to help in the education space, like many others who are hoping the minister is going to help. I'm here to meet with the founder of Gasigos Digital and the founder of See More Possibilities, that is Simo Nzama. Let's go meet up with him. I'm good. How are you? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Mondli Gungubele has moved from the presidency. He is now the new Minister of Communications and Digital Technologies. He moves at a time when the government had been busy with the digital transformation of television, as we do know that analog TV is being phased out by the government, and they are moving towards digital platforms that the SABC has been rolling out. As you would have heard, that the SABC is launching something called DTT. But there are various issues as Minister of Digital Technologies that he will have to be looking into and that he will be spearheading. And to discuss some of those issues is someone who's very passionate about education, especially tech education in township communities, and that is Simo Nzama, who runs an organization called Simo Possibilities and Kasi Goes Digital. Hello, and thank you very much for being a part of our network. In your view, where do you think the minister should start?
I think the minister has to familiarize himself with the concept of the ICT. It's broad, it is so necessary, and he has to make sure that he understands the concept and then he works on it and then he takes it further. You know, he has to make sure that the ICT, it becomes relatable so that people will understand and be able to consume and make use of it.
And what do you think the needs and the most pressing issues in the townships are?
Okay, first and foremost, we need to see structures that are so designed to help people to understand the entire concept of the 4IR and so we need to see the spaces of excellence where we'll see kids getting in, learning more about the forthcoming changes. We also need to see more of trainings and skills development in the township, because in this point in time, I think some of the things are kind of like far-fetched. Other things are being discussed somewhere in the city center, somewhere in the ICCs and so forth. These things have to be discussed in the backyard.
Do you think there's good enough communication of these issues to township communities?
Well, I don't really think so. The 4IR concept came right exactly when we were totally confused. You know, it became more and more aggressive, like during the so-called pandemic, and most people were thinking that the 4IR was kind of like a propaganda or a scam, and so some of the people, they are still trying to look at this as something that is not that much necessary. So I think they need to start afresh. They need to bring it closer so that it can be warmly welcomed.
And are you optimistic about Mondli Gungubele?
Yeah, I'm very optimistic about him. For the mere fact that he was once an educator, you know, I think he will understand the importance of making sure that anything which has to do with the 4IR, it has to be taken to people. Whatever information that is there, it has to cascade and reach people so that people can be able to ride this wave.
You mentioned education quite a bit. So why is this important to you, and why do you think it should be important to the minister?
All right. I'm the chairperson of the Simo Possibilities, and our role is to try to promote the social intelligence. We are trying to help people to think beyond the so-called challenges. As you know, that everything which has to do with the 4IR, it's a challenge to most of the people. So we are trying to make the subject to be more user-friendly. This structure is so designed for such things, and I'm happy that now we are MIC CETA accredited, meaning that we're going to be hosting, we're going to be having like a number of people coming into the space and taking them into a system, learning the computer and the systems development and so forth. We are delving more into like training people, giving them skills, and then once done, we know that people can be able to create things, because yeah, there is something called a trade deficit. In the townships, we have more people and we need them to start working. People, they need to roll their sleeves and create things and own things, produce and grow.
Simo Nzama, thank you very much for being a part of our network, SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Use network at sabc.co.za on email. We'll be back after the break. SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Welcome back. Here's what else took place in the rest of the world in the tech space.
Frida is cleaning her paintbrush. She's the new artist in residence at Carnegie Mellon University's Robotics Institute. But Frida is not an artist. She's a robotic arm with a paintbrush taped to it and uses artificial intelligence to collaborate with humans on works of art.
Frida is a project sort of exploring the intersection of human and robotic creativity. My angle on Frida is that this is a platform to look at how robots can use imprecise tools. Because these days, a lot of what we automate is really, really precise, but painting is not. And Frida, especially the way Frida plans and works, is imprecise. It's this kind of imprecise tool situation.
Once it starts painting, it uses an overhead camera to capture an image of the painting. The image helps Frida evaluate its progress and refine its plan if needed. And now in Spain. Blockchain-based mobile network operator World Mobile is aiming to provide affordable internet access to unconnected people around the world with the help of aerostatic balloons.
We connect the unconnected and the underserved. There's around 2.5 billion people on the planet that are unconnected, and right now there is no plausible solution to connect them. We use aerostats and a ground network in order to be able to connect people.
The telecommunications company uses a hybrid mobile network of aerial and ground assets to connect people and provide such digital services as banking to those that don't currently have it. After launching in Zanzibar, the company is now expanding rapidly to provide low-cost internet access to people in remote areas who lack access to traditional internet service providers. According to the International Telecommunications Union, an estimated 2.7 billion people, or 1/3 of the world's population, remained unconnected to the internet in 2022, with the majority of those people living in developing countries. And now in Croatia. Craving gnocchi with lamb, black risotto or zucchini pasta, but want it fast, you can order any of them at a Croatian restaurant where a robotic chef is able to rustle up about 70 different one-pot meals.
Izazov je bio, dakle, doista od sirove hrane napraviti gotovo jelo u što manje minuta i da bude što ukusnije. Sam proces je trajao dosta, uloženo je dosta novaca, dosta sredstava, govorimo o više od €1.000.000, dosta rada, dosta entuzijazma. Dakle, sad u ovom momentu svaki robot može proizvesti u 15 minuta 4 porcije.
Bujas also said he considers expanding the business model via franchises, explaining that the robot speeds up the cooking process and saves money at a time of staff shortages.
The end of March is when the government wants the switch off of analog TV to be fully done. So this week our Twitter poll is asking if you fully understand what a digital migration of television is and what it means to you. And that's it. That's all we have for you. Find us on SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's News Network at sabc.co.za. On email from me, Spumelele Zondi, and the rest of the network team. Bye-bye. Have a good one. Thank you.